Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with Canadian woodwind player and composer Dennis Kwok. We talked to him in late March 2020 as the quarantine was taking hold and the world of live jazz was going away. He spoke about his impressive debut, the 2020 CD Windward Bound, along with his career in jazz and the hopeful future. Please get to know him and dig this interview.
Good, how are you?
I think we're holding up okay. Are you up there in Toronto?
Yes, I am.
How's everything going up there?
It's pretty quiet. The city's pretty much almost shut down. People are staying inside, but it is what it is.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all you can say. Well, hey, thank you for reaching out with the music, and thanks for taking a minute out today for Neon Jazz. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for spinning the record.
Yeah, you bet. So let's talk about Windward Bound. Give me an idea of what your vision for this project was.
Well, this particular album, Ontario's been giving out some emergency alerts.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, sorry. 1 second. Let's see if I can turn that on.
Oh, you're good. What are they just? What kinds of things are they sending you?
They just sent out an alert about anyone who's left the country should self-isolate for 2 weeks. And it just sent to everyone's phone just now.
Interesting. Well, I guess things are going to be different country to country because I know that travel here in the States has been pretty much just totally shut down.
Right, yeah.
Cool. So I was just going to ask about Windward Bound. Give me an idea of what your artistic vision for this project was.
Yeah, so this particular project, I wanted to showcase the amount of talent that comes out from young, upcoming artists in the city. So myself included, and the funny thing is, I'm not the only project here the only big band that has produced a record of upcoming jazz musicians in the city. So I kind of wanted to follow in those footsteps as well as kind of create my own statement of just new composers and new performers in the city as well. So this particular album, it kind of reflects on a lot of my teenage memories and a lot of my in the liner notes I write something along the lines of I didn't realize how much being a professional musician would mirror being an athlete. So that really stuck with me, and in terms of the music that I wrote. And as a performer, I want to showcase just myself on the Woodwinds. I feel like that is a big part of my identity as a artist, so I wrote myself in as the woodwind soloist, backed up by a band of young, upcoming musicians that are playing fantastic.
So talk to me a little bit, I don't know when things kind of started getting to a point where it got really serious and things slowed down, but it seems like around here, it was around March 13th, and that's when your album came out. Does it kind of seem weird now that you look back that, without knowing what was going to transpire up to this point?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in the weeks leading up to it, kind of middle of March, we're kind of talking, hey, is this concert actually going to happen? We might not be able to do a CD release. But I'm just happy it's out there and people are listening to it. I've gotten a lot of great feedback from people who, have been streaming it. And so, I'm sure the CD release concert will happen. It's just a matter of when and how long. But, I'm just excited that it's out there to the world and people can listen to it.
Talk to me a little bit about your childhood and growing up and who you listened to and how you got into jazz.
Yeah, so I didn't come from a musical family at all. I grew up in a kind of a moderate-sized city called Calgary in the prairies, and my parents just enrolled me in piano lessons. They weren't musical at all, but they thought that'd be a good idea. And then the one thing that got me into jazz was taking a workshop from the local university, and that really piqued my interest in improvisation and just like learning about jazz and trying to have a personal sense of sound and a personal sense of expression as well. So I remember I was maybe 14 years old, and I picked up my first jazz record, which was Blue Train, and then Oscar Peterson's 75th birthday anniversary. And so I listened to that for a little while, but I didn't really get into the saxophone until I hit high school. And then we had a fantastic public school music program with a fantastic teacher and just really great opportunities. So here's where I guess I really got deep into jazz, just because I wanted to learn more about it, and we had a great big band, and we'd bring in guest artists every year. So I think one of my biggest influences back then was listening to Paul Desmond, just because it was something that I could digest, rather than digging right into the bebop stuff, which I felt move a little too fast. But yeah, definitely like big into Paul Desmond and that West Coast thing. Big into big bands, because that was the jazz experience that I had in school was big band. So, deep into Basie, Maria Schneider, also a huge influence. One of my teachers played a concert where they played down all of music for large and small ensembles, so I got into Kenny Wheeler through that. So yeah, and then I was also listening to a lot of like current jazz back then, so like Donnie McCaslin, Joshua Redman, and just some of the like what's going on now back then. So I guess that'd be like Esperanza Spalding as well. The new Herbie stuff. But yeah, I feel like the only reason I got into jazz and being an artist is just through public school.
So, what do you like best about being a professional jazz musician?
I think it's been very satisfying, especially being in Toronto as such a huge hub of music. It's been very, very interesting to just try and find more about what I want to express and how I want to express that. And just collaborating with so many different artists, different individual sounds is so inspiring to me. Just like being able to kind of every day we're searching for something we couldn't do yesterday or the last time we picked up our instrument. So it's just this constant searching of personal expression, however that means to anyone, is just I guess what has always fascinated me, and I think it has led me here.
So what was one of the first live jazz shows you ever saw that made you think, man, this is what I want to do with my life?
I remember seeing the Basie band, the Basie Ghost Band. They were playing at a festival called something along the lines of the Rocky Mountain Music Festival in Canmore. And we got a couple discount tickets through our music teacher. So a couple of my friends drove up, and then we caught the first set, and we were playing some of those charts already because, Nesco charts are everywhere. And I was like, man, they are playing their butts off, and it's just so infectious, and I want to hope maybe one day be in a situation where I can make other people feel like that.
Right on. So, why do you love jazz?
I love jazz just because every single artist that is a jazz artist has their own individual sound. Even if they're very strongly influenced by anyone else, they always sound like themselves one way or another. And it's also really fascinating to me that it's got one step in tradition and one step in the future. And I feel like it always has. So it's one of the types of music that's constantly evolving, and being part of it, I love it because I feel like I want to try and push it in a direction that I want to see it go as well. And I guess that's in the grand scheme of things, I might not necessarily be like a huge innovator, but I just want to be part of this movement of exploring tradition and also bringing jazz to be relevant in today's music.
So, we're all living through this pandemic and this very awkward time, and live jazz has been swallowed up and things are slow. So my question to you is, once we get past all this, what do you want to see happen? What revelations or, things that come to the forefront do you want to see happen with the fans and the people that come out and see live music after all this?
Well, I definitely want to help support live music in general. I know a lot of venues everywhere are struggling, and most have closed their doors for a couple weeks. So I'd love audiences to keep coming out, keep supporting live music, and hopefully we can get a thriving scene happening again as it was, and perhaps even more. I feel like people should just see what performances are happening in the city, and hopefully venues and other organizations can help support artists after this kind of blows over.
So my final question to you is this. Everyone has a version or an interpretation of who they think you are, your family, your friends, your fans, but you're living your life. Who do you think you are?
This is an open-ended question. I think a creator that is trying to push at least my own boundaries, and constantly create something that I haven't done before and push my own artistic boundaries.
That's a great answer. Dennis, thank you for taking a minute out. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Joe, for having me and for spinning the record.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest players in Toronto, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Dennis for reaching out to Neon Jazz for his time and his music. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino in the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com, and for everything Neon Jazz all the time, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, support the arts and enjoy the music, my friends.
Neon Jazz.